you know. I think messages like self-belief and manifesting and, betting on yourself and, confidence and all things like that, those are universal messages. It doesn't matter where you're from, that shit that you can apply to your life. And, since I started trying to like work on myself and read self-help books and stuff like that since I was 17, 18, I was really only interested in learning about sort of like these universal laws and these universal ideas, So I just think that like if you make regional music, just don't be surprised if the only people who know your music is that region that you made it for, you know? Yeah, I have a Discord. Just want to know what's your favorite song you've made. Um, hmm. I don't know. I don't know. Last Night is up there. Voicemail's up there. A lot of the songs I'm sitting on though right now are in that. When am I doing my next tour in the US? Not for a while, man. Not for a while. Not for a while. I've done so many. I'm sitting here thinking about, and I love the fans in America, obviously. It has nothing to do with that. It's a matter of just like allowing new music to come out, allowing there to like be a chance at like a newer set list. There's people who have been to 7 of my LA shows. Like I feel like I've done, let me see, I did Echoplex twice in one night, so that's 2. Then I did El Rey, then I did the Novo, then I did the Shrine 2 nights, that's 7. Then I did Staples Center, that's 8. Then I did Hollywood Bowl. I've done 9 shows in LA. 9. You know what I mean? I've done 9 shows. And it's incredible because they get bigger every time, so people still keep coming. But I just feel like I want to, the set list was pretty new this time. There was definitely like a lot of new songs, but at the same time, like I want to come back to America where people can hear like, not even just hear new songs, but just let there be a demand build back up again, where it's like, damn, we haven't seen you in a minute. Now we really, really want to come see you, Absence creates demand. Yeah, I'm going to come to Europe 2024 is the plan. I was just in India. Can't wait to go back, though. India was awesome. India was crazy, man. I loved India. This is one of the top questions right here. How'd you like India? I loved it. I loved it. The love out there was next level. The food was incredible. I loved it, man. I loved it. Look at all this love everywhere, man. Salt Lake City, Long Island, the UK, Prague. Like, I just dreamed of this. I really did. It's just crazy. That's why, I was talking about it yesterday, but not like too in detail. But, that's why I love coming to places I've never been to and just planting the seeds and doing some of these smaller shows. Because it's just like, this is what it's about. This is what it was always about, was doing shows that, yeah, maybe aren't the biggest shows, but hey, there's still fans here, and this is a place where there's just the most amount of growth, you know? So go plant the seeds over there, you know? And I like going to places where I don't see a lot of artists go to. Yeah, I'm working on Chomp 3. Number one advice you would give to an up-and-coming artist? Make music for you. Make the music that you want to hear. You know, the best way to complain about something is to make your own. So instead of like complaining like, oh, this is what I think music should be, why are they making shit like this, why isn't there more this, make that. Make what you want to hear, you know? Make what you want to hear. And stay in the studio as much as possible. Put in the hours, you know? Put in the hours and perfect your craft. And put out music consistently. A lot of people aren't consistent enough, you know? Everyone thinks they're fucking Frank Ocean. And it's like that you can just put out a song or an album and disappear for 5 years. It's like, yeah, you can when you're Frank Ocean. You know what I mean? But it's like, y'all are not Frank Ocean. You have 28 followers. Like, what are you doing? You know what I mean? So, yeah, and the other thing is, if you are interested, like, I would say this, set your intentions, you know? So if your intentions of being an artist, if your intention is just to like, hey, I just want to speak to these people or speak to this region, then do that. But if your intention is to impact the world, then you need to have worldly messages, meaning messages that go beneath the surface, messages that aren't just about how, you know, the gas station around the corner from you is a shitty gas station and you shouldn't go over there after 9 p.m. You know what I mean? Not that there's not a lot of people who could relate to that. I'm just saying, like, you know, touching on sort of like universal messages and themes, you know, stuff that just deals with like interpersonal work, shit that has depth. That's if you're trying to impact the world. And incorporate melody. Melody and message is how you impact the world. That's always what I've said when people ask me, how did you get a global fan base? Melody and message. A lot of Americans have this fucked up mindset. They just assume that everyone gives a fuck about America and gives a fuck about speaking English and understanding the culture. These people are not speaking English everywhere, man. So doing all your rapidy rap shit, thinking that you're gonna have a massive global fan base, you can, but like, you better have some melody sprinkled in there. I'm just being honest. These people don't speak English like that. But melody is the language of the world, you feel me? So, melody and message. I think that's why I've been able to, you know, looking at this past year, it's just been incredible, the collaborations I've been able to do. You know, I collaborated with artists in France, I collaborated with artists in India, I collaborated with artists in Brazil, I collaborated with artists in the UK, Ed Sheeran, I collaborated with artists in Nigeria. You know, it's like, it's just melody and message. Malaysia, I miss y'all too. Malaysia was, honestly, this whole tour, I would say, as far as like crowd participation and who is the loudest crowd, who is the craziest crowd that was just like their energy was on 10 the whole night and they knew more songs than all the other crowds, I would say was Malaysia. For sure. I also want to tell people, listen, right? It's very difficult for us in this day and age who grew up, being fairly addicted to attention, and being on social media and looking at numbers, looking at comments, looking at other people's shit. You get into the comparison game and you start feeling like you're not shit, and et cetera, et cetera. And for the artists watching and listening, right? Majority of these people's shit is fake. You feel me? It's fake. It's just fake. And how you should know it's fake is just use me as an example, right? Go look at the likes I get on posts and the comments I get, right? And then go look at the shows I do, right? So I did Hollywood Bowl in LA, 17,000 people, right? Now, if everyone's numbers were real, right? If everyone's numbers were real, then, and if social media mattered that much, then technically anyone who has more followers than me, gets more likes on their pictures and more comments, then they should be able to not only do Hollywood Bowl themselves, but depending on how much more likes or followers, they should be doing 2 of them. They should be doing the stadium. The reason why they're not, and the reason why they won't, and the reason why they can't, is because social media is not real, okay? And I know that's hard for all of us in this day and age to not go down the rabbit hole of comparison and looking at other people's numbers, but these labels are boosting streams. They're buying fucking views. They're buying followers. They're doing all a bunch of shit to make something look like it's more important than it is. And there's a theory behind that. It's because they hope, they're preying on people's FOMO. Meaning, if they can make this thing over here look like a bunch of people are fucking with it, even though it's fake people fucking with it, it's bots, the hope is that these real people will be like, damn, I'm missing out on something over there. Look, there's a crazy party going on over there. I gotta go check it out. So they hope that by creating fake hype and attention, it will actually garner real attention due to FOMO. Put it like this. If everyone's streams are real, y'all saw my Spotify Wrapped, correct? Y'all saw my Spotify Wrapped. Okay. Any artist who did more streams than me, tell them to go do the Hollywood Bowl. They should be able to do it easily if it's real. Otherwise, what are we talking about? You know what I mean? What are we talking about? So I don't want y'all to get sucked into that comparison game and looking at numbers on a screen all day and thinking that it really means too much of anything. For the artists out there, just work on building up your ecosystem in your community. You know? Yeah, no, the craziest show I've ever done as far as just like a mindfuck was the Pyramids. I mean, it's the most insane shit. Like, hands down. Hands down. Hands down. Yeah, don't get caught up in the comparison game, man. Just build your ecosystem and community. That's it. I love the community that I have and how self-contained and self-sufficient it is. You know, it's like I just feel like we're in this ecosystem. There's no other word for it, really. We're in this ecosystem, and it's like new people come in every once in a while, but if y'all don't, we're good over here. It's completely fine. Like, we're self-sufficient. We have our own food. We grow our own crops. We fucking get our own water. You know what I mean? It's like, we're good over here. And I feel like that's what it's about. As an artist, you don't want to have to rely and be dependent on the industry's ecosystem or someone else or another another artist's ecosystem. Like, oh, I got to make sure I'm always collabing so I can like be getting the benefits from their ecosystem, because my shit can't stand on its own. You don't want that, you know? Something every independent artist should know and should be doing. Making sure that without trying too hard, that you are making the brand called you. It's actually a book, The Brand Called You, I think. And meaning that I come across a lot of artists, a lot of up and coming artists who they might have cool music or potential, but you go to their page and it just looks like there's no branding. You know what I'm saying? There's no branding, meaning like, what are you about? Outside of the music, what are you about? You know, how do you approach your content? How do you approach your style of everything? Like, what's the brand? You know, what are you about? And I think that's really important, and that gets people to buy into you as a person. Like, I feel like for me, people have bought into the music, but people are still around now. I'm going on 7 years in this shit now. You know, I blew up in 2016. It's about to be 2023. And I think people are still here is because, yeah, the music, but also because they've bought into me as a person, you know, and what I'm about and what I talk about. And I think that's really important, you know. I think there's a lot of people who complain nowadays about, well, it should just be about the music.